This brief on the global impact of the war in Ukraine warns that billions of people face the greatest cost of living crisis in a generation. Adding to the stress wrought by 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic that had already left economies in a fragile state.
Vulnerable people and vulnerable countries are already being hit hard, but make no mistake, no country or community will be left untouched by this cost of living crisis. Food prices are at near record highs. Fertilizer prices have more than doubled, sounding an alarm everywhere. Without fertilizers, shortages will spread from corn and wheat to all staple crops, including rice, with a devastating impact on billions of people in Asia and South America too. This year's food crisis is about lack of access. Next year's could be about lack of food. Record high energy prices are also triggering blackouts and fuel shortages in all parts of the world, especially in Africa.
Guterres believes that the only way to stop the gathering storm is for the Russian invasion of Ukraine to end and for a political solution to be found in line with international law and the UN Charter. But until that happens, he calls for actions on two fronts. For resources to be made available to help the poorest countries and communities keep their economies afloat. And most urgently, for Ukraine and Russian food and fertilizer supplies to be brought back into world markets as the UN now works behind the scenes to broker such a package deal. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov was in Turkey earlier Wednesday for talks on creating a safe maritime corridor in the Black Sea for grain exports from Ukraine.
This deal is essential for hundreds of millions of people in developing countries, including in sub-Saharan Africa. Rebecca and Martin have been working closely with all parties to move this forward, and in the past 10 days they have held direct contacts with Moscow, Kyiv, Ankara, Brussels and Washington. At this point, saying anything more in public would jeopardize the chances of success, and I ask for your understanding. This is one of the moments where silent diplomacy is necessary, and the welfare of millions of people around the world could depend on it.
The UN believes it will take global action to fix this global crisis.
Today, the world faces a crisis of access. There is enough of everything, but at the wrong price, in the wrong place, and at the wrong time. Tomorrow, the world may face a crisis of availability, where there may be not enough essential supplies, no matter where, when, and at what price. That is why we continue to insist that the problems of access, price, and timing must be tackled at the same time. We are in a race against time. This is why we are calling for action, action, and action.
The report also warns that if the war continues and grain and fertilizers' high prices persist into the next planting season, that the crisis could extend into other basic foods, such as rice, affecting billions more. Sherman Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.